Okay, cool. So, guys, welcome to the Data Science Fast Track course. This is a day 7, and we will be talking about the MySQL part, starting with its installation part. Okay, and we will be ending with this to like I'll be showing you how you can connect your MySQL server in Python and R. So they, basically in Python and R, how you can get the databases, so you can be able to run the multiple machine learning models, and as well as you can go ahead with the you know the different topics to explore. So guys, if we're talking about this particular term, okay, like the analysis of variance, before that I just wanted to explain one more thing, which is nothing but the mode that we like that we got some issues yesterday with that. Okay, and what was the issue yesterday? If you see over here, okay, let me go and run this. Okay, I shared this file with you guys, so you will have this particular file, so you can simply get and download this particular file from the drive. So this is my mode now. Okay, let me just go and import the Titanic data set first. Okay, so first we'll have to import the Titanic data set. For that I'll need the reader library. Let me go and import this. Second thing is that we need the Titanic data, or any data you can simply read. Okay, now okay, yeah. Let me just go and set the working directory. Okay, because you will find that my current working directory is going to be this. Okay, and this particular file is not in that particular directory. That's why I got the error. So that's why I can simply go and say my current working directory is my day 6 folder. Okay, and I can simply go and read this particular data from that particular directory. This particular directory you can see. So in this particular Titanic data you will see that, okay, like we got some issue yesterday. So, and what was that? So basically, if we're talking about to find out the mode, so there is no specific function, inbuilt function, okay, which is not there in the R studio. Yes, definitely there are few libraries you can access that particular the mode function from that particular library. But if you want, okay, like there is no specific inbuilt function in the R itself, like you will have to access it from any other library. So for that, okay, we just created this particular function yesterday, and there was one problem. Like instead of going with this, okay, I went with this yesterday. So if you see that, okay, this is the main thing, okay, we did yesterday. But if you find that, okay, if you are using match, which means that I'll have to add this both, will have to match this term with this. Okay, then only we can able to find out the maximum value from it, right? So this small curly bracket, okay, because of this particular bracket we got the error, this particular bracket. So instead of adding this bracket over here, we'll have to add the bracket from here over here, right? So that's what we did. Okay, this thing over here, and you will find that we got the mode. Like if you wanted to check with any other column, so for that, let's say this is my fair column, I just wanted to check with it. So if you find that, okay, in the let's say structure of my Titanic data, so you will find that, okay, here we can find out the mode of the numeric data. So let's say we can go and find out the mode of this particular P class. Okay, we just find out the mode of the P class. So what we can do, we can simply go over here and we can simply put the P class inside it. Okay, and let's go and run this, and here you can see the mode of the P class is going to be the 3. Okay, 3 is nothing but the third class, and you will find that in the in the visualization we saw this, like the in the third class there are more number of passengers are there in the Titanic ship, right? So that is nothing but the mode. Okay, maximum number of time this 3 value repeated in the data, right? So you can go and find out the mode by using this particular function. Okay, there was only one, you know, uh, typo is there. Okay, now after this, okay, like few few are facing some issues with the, didn't understand the analysis of variance. So for that, okay, if you see over here, okay, I'm just going to read my data, which is nothing but the WC80 data set. Okay, now guys, here you can see that, okay, after reading the data, what I'm doing, I'm just applying the attach method. Okay, so basically, okay, for, extracting the column, for getting the access of the column from the data, okay, what we are doing, we are just using this kind of code, the data name dollar and that particular column name that we wanted to extract from the data set, right? Now here what we are doing, we are simply using the attach method and that particular data name, which means that now instead of using this particular line of code, we can simply use a column name, right? So that's what we are doing by using this particular function. So after executing this attach method, let me go and build the regression model. You see, I'm building the regression model over here, right? So see, after building the regression model, let me go and show you the summary, right? Okay, like if you didn't understand what regression model is, so you can simply go ahead and check our previous recordings. Okay, then you will definitely understand what regression model is. Okay, like we clearly explained this all the terms in the previous session. Okay, so let's go and see the summary. So this is my summary of the regression, right? So if you see that this is my formula, okay, here my aim is to, build a model which can predict the adipose tissue area, which means AT area, from the waist column. Waist is nothing but the waist circumference, right? Now here you can see that this is nothing but the residuals summary. Okay, residual summary, which means the error in my regression model. You will find that, like if we see, let me show you this thing in the whiteboard so you can understand in a better way. Let me go and search for the whiteboard. Okay, let me open it. Like if you know, like in the previous session we created one scatter plot for the regression, right? So in that particular scatter plot, okay, I just mentioned the few things. Okay, and what are those? Like I mentioned this thing, let me create the scatter plot. Okay, any random scatter plot I'm just creating over here. Okay, this is my data set. If you see, okay, see, this is my data set. Okay, this is my regression line, right? And see, there is some difference, okay, there is some distance between my original data points. These are my original data points, and you will find that the predicted data points. See, we just, okay, if we are creating the line of the regression, which means, okay, this line is nothing but the line of prediction, or you can say that the regression line. Okay, and the equation for this particular line is going to be the y hat equal to our beta naught plus beta 1 x. Okay, these all nothing but the estimated now because we created the line, right? So this difference is going to be the residual, we can say, right? Also you can say that the error. Okay, so if you see over here, okay, this particular summary, so this summary is for the residual. Understood? Now second table is for the coefficients. Like as we mentioned in the previous session, the like the again the in Python, the second table is nothing but the table of, T table. So from that you can define the whether your columns are significant or not. So you can check each and every your column, okay, and its significance, right, in the particular model. Okay, how significant this column is for building our machine learning model, which is nothing but the regression equation, you can say. Okay, so here from the p-value of this particular t-test, you can see that. So basically, if we are saying if the p-value is less than 0.05, that is nothing but our, the threshold value most of the time. Okay, maximum number of time we will be using this particular value 0.05. Okay, and this value here, which is very much less. Okay, you see that the value is less than 2 into e raised to minus 16, which means that there are, okay, after decimal point you will find that the 16 zeros. So you will find that this value is absolutely less than this particular value. So we can say that this particular column is very much significant for, making the prediction about the 80 column, right? The 80 column you can see over here. After that you will find that the residual standard error. Okay, residual standard error, because we just calculate the standard deviation of the residual. That's why you will see that the standard error is here. Okay, the degrees of freedom, we like, as we mentioned, the degrees of freedom about the residual in Python. Okay, this is the same thing, right? Like if we go and, explain this each and every topic again, it will take, lot of time. So like we discussed this all in the previous session, so you can simply go and check those recording. Right now, after this you will find that the r square, which is nothing but 0.67 adjusted r square. Okay, we already explained these terms. Now, okay, our main topic is this thing. Okay, is this thing, which is nothing but the f statistics. Okay, so in the analysis of variance, let me just go and run the ANOVA over here. Okay, this is nothing but the analysis of variance. So if we're talking about the ANOVA, so you can see that ANOVA also giving me the f value. Okay, and the, the value is nothing but the 217.28, right? So here you can see that we got the same value, 217.3, and this value is same. Okay, because this value is in the one, one decimal point, this value is in two decimal points. Okay, but if you see these two values are same. Okay, the degrees of freedom is also same. You can see 1 and 107 right over here. And after this, if you see the p-value for this, you will see the p-value which is again less than this particular value, 2.2 into e raised to minus 16. So which means that, okay, like, why to understand ANOVA is nothing but the, how we can say, actually this is not the 2 into e raised to minus 16 is there, minus 16, not the plus 16. Okay, if this value plus 16, so you can, okay, let me show you. Okay, the 2.2 into e raised to minus 16. I hope this work. Yeah. E raised to exponential xp minus 16. Okay. Now here you can see. Now if you see this value is very much, again, if you see this value, here we got the term which is nothing but the, the minus 0.7. So if you see that the 0.7, so let me show you. Okay, the 2.2 into e raised to minus 0.7, or let's say our original value is 16. So you will find this value like this. Okay, 0.123 up to 15 times 0, and then this 2 value over here, because this 2 value is, is the previous value. Okay, here starting from here you will find that the, the decimal point. So after this value, here you will see the 2 like this. Okay, so you will find that this all the 0 which are nothing but the 16 0. Okay, so this value is absolutely less than 0.05 if you see. Understood, right? So that is the thing over here. Okay, now after this, if you see this particular, okay, thing, the, the output for the regression and output for the analysis of variance. Okay, in the name itself we are dealing, okay, we are talking about the variance term. Okay, now variance is nothing but we'll have to check whether our model is significant or not, right? as I told you in the previous session, this F statistics, why we are using this, we are checking this to understand our model is significant or not. So here, how we got this value, that's what we are understanding in this particular table. Okay, in this particular table, if you see over here this table, so let me go over here and then I'll show you the ANOVA table over here. ANOVA table over here, so you will find that these are nothing but the features over here, starting with our intercept. Then you will find that the column 1, column 2, depending upon the how many columns you have. This is a column 1, column 2, you will see. Okay, in our case there are only 2 columns, that's why then we have the total over here. Then you will find that the degrees of freedom is there. Okay, so if you go over here and you can see we got the one value over here. Okay, and here we have how many values, how many degrees of freedom is there, 107. And if you see our total data, so total data points are 109. So here you will find that, okay, here you will find that the degrees of freedom. Okay, so for this particular point you will find that the degrees of freedom is 1. Okay, for this particular point you will find that the degrees of freedom is going to be the, you know, now these are not the, you know, the feature. This is, okay, let me just remove this. So let's go over here and here you will find that this is for the regression. Okay, and here you will find that this is for the residual or simply the error term, you can say. So this is going to be the total. You will find that this is total n minus 1 and this is going to be the n minus k. Now what is k? So here if you see we have the, okay, 100, okay, 109, okay, minus k, which means 2, means total number of the parameter estimated, beta naught and beta 1. So that's why you will find that the 109 minus, okay, 2, which is nothing but the 107, and here you will find that the 108 value, which is not over here in this particular table. But if you go ahead and see the analysis of variance table, you see the value like this. Okay, like this kind of table you will see. Now after that you will see the sum of square. Okay, sum of square due to regression. Okay, sum of square due to regression. Then second is sum of square due to residual, if you see, right? And here you will find that the sum of square due to total, right? SST is there. So if you go and see, so sum of square due to regression, okay, plus sum of square due to residual is going to be your sum of square due to total. Now why I'm writing this particular thing, because we just calculated this r square from this particular term, like 1 minus, okay, sum of square due to residual, okay, divided by sum of square due to total. So we can go and we can our, okay, update this formula as like this: sum of square due to regression divided by sum of square due to total as well. Okay, this is also the our, you know, the formula. So you can't say that this is my correct formula and this is wrong. So both the formulas are the r square formula. This is how you can calculate the r square. Now second thing is that we have the mean sum of square, MSS, right? So again, for finding the mean sum of square, just find out this SSR, okay, regression divided by 1 because of this value. Okay, then SS residual divided by n minus k, which in our case 107. And then if we wanted to find out the f value of f statistics, okay, so you will see that the distribution, you know, the f distribution follows two parameters. Okay, the n1 and n2 parameters. If you see, just go and you will see the symbol like this: f follows the n1 comma n2. Okay, this kind of symbol. Okay, so if you see, so you can simply find out the f statistics by using this sum of square due to regression, okay, mean sum of square due to regression, okay, divided by mean sum of square due to error, you can see, or residual we can see, okay. And that's how this follows the n1 minus this particular, okay. Now here you can see n1 is going to be the 1 because we are using in the first the this particular term na. So that's why you will see that the instead of this you can simply write the 1, okay. And here means sum of square due to residual, that's why here you can see the 107, okay, this particular term. So if you know to find out the the value for this, okay, the f value, the statistical table is there. If you go and see the statistical table is there, so we have the statistical table for normal distribution, for t distribution, for f distribution. So you can go and check and find out the value for this f1 and 107, okay. You will get some value, okay. And you can compare this particular value, this our this f value, okay, 270, okay, this 217 value you can simply. So okay, like for that we will okay, we'll have to know how you can go and okay, first thing you should have the table for that, okay. And those table are available in the form of pdf on the net, okay. Second thing is that like we don't have to check this with each and every time, we don't have to compare these. For that we can simply see the p value, right? And the the understanding for the p value is if the p value is less than 0.05, so you can simply say that our model is significant by using just f statistics, or here you can say that the f value you can say, or the analysis of variance from this. So that's how you can go and simply make your decision, because this is okay. If you go and check these, so for that we need the the multiple things. This is a the part of the hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing you can see. And here for hypothesis testing, what we need null hypothesis, we need alternative hypothesis. So we can say that okay, our model is significant, model is significant we can say, right? And here you can see our model is not significant, is not, we can simply see significant like this, okay. So this is our term, and that we are checking over here in the analysis of variance, right? Analysis of variance. So that is a simple thing, okay. And guys, the one more thing, okay, like as I am as we mentioned in the agenda, okay, like the time series analysis, right? So without further ado guys, okay, we can simply go ahead and like we were talking about the time series analysis, okay. So guys, okay, we will be talking about the time series analysis, okay, in the project, so you will understand in a good manner, okay. We'll use one data science project and I'll show you how you can do your time series analysis. So basically there are a lot of things in the time series analysis, like there are multiple models of the time series analysis itself, like the auto regressive model, moving average model, auto regressive integrated moving average model. So for understanding these many multiple things, okay, like now after this, okay, uh, let us go our topic, which is nothing but you can see MySQL 1, okay. Now guys, like we were talking about the our today's agenda. So if we're talking about the agenda of the today's session, so you can see that we will be talking about the MySQL, okay. Like I guess many of you who know about this, many of you maybe don't know about this, okay. So don't worry, we'll be starting from the scratch, like from the download we'll be talking about. Then we will be talking about what the relational database is, okay, and its concepts. Then we'll go and see the MySQL syntax and queries, how you can write the different queries over there. We'll be talking about the aggregation function, then what are the multiple joins are there, so you can use these joins to integrate your data multiple tables. Okay, you can use a multiple tables and you can write your query by using the multiple joins, right? Then we will be talking about the subqueries and views in SQL. Okay, and then after that we'll be talking about how you can connect your MySQL in Python and R. Okay, and then like in the session itself we'll be talking about how you can work with the data in the MySQL. So which means that we'll be applying the multiple queries on the data set. That is nothing but the working with data in MySQL, right? So guys, without further ado, let's go and let me show you how you can download the MySQL over there in your system. So for that, what we need, just open your browser, right? So this is my browser. Simply go and use the MySQL download. Okay, that's it. You can simply go and you know use this. Now here you can see that the multiple things. Okay, MySQL downloads. Okay, so let's go into the main link and I'll show you to how you can download the MySQL installer, right? Okay, now here you can see, okay, basically try free. Okay, not this one. Okay, if you go over here you can simply go and use this. Okay, now basically in that you will find that this is going to be the MySQL community downloads. So basically if we, okay, what we need, we want to download the MySQL installer for Windows, right? There are multiple things are there. So here you can see that the MySQL installer, which is 2.4 MB, and here we have the MySQL installer, which is going to be the the this 437 MB. So you can download this particular thing and install it in your system. So installation part is again very much simple. You have to go and next like that. Okay, now here you can see, okay, in that, now basically I can simply go over here and see, like if you wanted to go ahead, like I'm doing it for you guys. Okay, I just wanted to show you like how you can go and like, or maybe you can go ahead with the in that you will find that the multiple products of the MySQL. So here, okay, what we need, like first we need the workbench to run our query, right? Second thing is that we need to connect the MySQL with the Python and R. For that we need the MySQL server. Okay, these two products we need. So you can simply go and install this, right, in your system. So like if you just go over here and you will see the something like this, select products. Okay, if you go click to the next, so in between that you will find out the products, right? So here you can see MySQL server. So what you can do, you can simply go over here and add the latest server over here. So what I'm doing, I can simply go over here, I can add the latest server over here. Okay, in over here you can see, like I already installed it, so that's why it is uh, showing me like this. Now here you can see that I didn't use this because I installed the upgraded version, which is this one. Okay, this one I just install. So that's why you will see that the all the things which are like I'm not able to select this because I already installed this. Now if you see the second thing, so I can able to put this over here, right? I can able to put this particular server over here, but I already installed this, so no need to install this again. So for you can simply go and you can do this. Okay, so first you can go over here, MySQL server, you can go over here and you can simply add this and add the latest server, this one. Okay, now this is about the server. What about the applications of the MySQL? So here you can see we have the different applications of the MySQL. Like I install this MySQL workbench. Okay, workbench. So I install this particular thing. You can simply go put this and you can put this particular arrow. Okay, which one? This arrow you can put. You will see that the your MySQL version, workbench will be over here, and you can go with the next, right? Now after this, okay, like we don't need to install any other thing, okay, like we don't need to install this all the things, okay, like we need only two things, server and workbench, okay, that's it. Now after this, okay, just try to install that. Now if you see over here, okay, let me like show you this thing, like these are my products, okay. Like for that, many times you will find that we will have to, here you will have to add the password in that, okay. You will have to name, okay, you don't have to make any changes with the clicks and all, just go to the next. But like meanwhile that you will, okay, like it will, okay, tell you that just put the password and the username. So at that time, don't use the, username with like the, like you can go ahead with your name and all, but don't use any different username, because, okay, like once you forgot that particular username, which means that you can't, access this particular MySQL, that particular your account, you know. So that is the first thing. Second thing is that, okay, like as I, you know you will have to add the username and password. So like for me, like I added the username as a root, and the password is also root, okay, because, okay, I'll have to, each and every time, like I'll have to, remember this particular password and username. So for that I just go with the root, right? So you can go with the same as well if you want, okay. But if you go ahead and with your name, with any other password, so the thing is that, okay, you can't recover the password if you forgot. So which means that you never able to access the database that you created in the MySQL. You will have to create the new account, and you will have to, create your new databases then, okay. That is the issue over here. So that's why create the password which you can remember, okay, always. That is the thing. Now after installing it, okay, uh, you can simply go over here, okay, and you will find that the one folder which is automatically will be there, like this MySQL, okay. You will see that the MySQL command line is there, MySQL command line Unicode is there, the MySQL installer community version is there, you will find, and the workbench is there, okay. This is my workbench. So let's go and open the workbench. Now here, after opening the workbench, you will find that we just created the root username and the password is the same, okay. And this is the default localhost. You will find that for you as well, you will see that the localhost is the port, this port number is 3306. You will find the same, right? So here you can see, now we are opening the workbench. Now this is my workbench, okay. Let me just restore the file, because the file is right, I guess around 89 MB, which is nothing but our data that we are using in our this particular session, okay. This is my data will be, you know just reading this particular data, you will find that this data over here, okay. You will see that I already, you know just executed this, or added this data in my schemas. Schemas are nothing but the how many databases are there. You will find that this is my one database. You will find that how many tables are there in my, employees database. So this is nothing but my how many tables are there, okay. Like this you will find that the second invoice database, okay, and the my databases, these are just the sample one, okay. We'll be talking about the employees and we'll be using this, okay. So like you are downloading this particular thing. So while we are just understanding what SQL is and what the relational databases is, because many of you I guess don't know about this. So that's why let's go with our PPT, right? So yes, MS SQL is nothing but the Microsoft SQL, and MySQL, like there are multiple, as we know, there are multiple programming language. In the same way, you will find that there are multiple database languages, are there. So MySQL is one of this, and you will find that the PostgreSQL, you will find that the the Microsoft SQL. But I guess Microsoft SQL, this this is again, you can say that the MS SQL is PostgreSQL, you can say. Okay, because that PostgreSQL is created by the Microsoft. Yes, you can use that as well, MySQL shell. Okay, but Workbench, why? Because in the Workbench you will be able to see the code. Okay, and also you'll be able to see the, is there any error, is there any warning that you are running that particular code. So while running the code, whether your code is running or it is throwing some error, or it is giving some warnings like that. So for this, okay, Microsoft Workbench is good, right? So you can use that as well, MySQL shell as well. Okay, you can even use the command line as well of the MySQL. Okay, so this is the thing. Now if we're talking about, guys, the relational databases and the MySQL, so see, MySQL, how many of you know the SQL long form? Do you know SQL long form of this? Yeah, so that's why we'll be talking about the SQL, or like, instead of saying, most of the the students and like most of the peoples are using the SQL, uh, or you can simply say that the SQL is the proper, we can say, the word. Okay, now okay, like the, we also as we know, structure query language, okay, like commonly known as a SQL. Okay, so basically we can say it is a very standard programming language for relational databases. Okay, so like, if you're talking about the relational databases, so we can simply say that the like, in the databases there are multiple tables, and in all the tables you will find that the some kind of relationship between each other table. Okay, so which means that, okay, you can get the access of all the data, all the tables in that particular database. Those are relational one. Okay, because sometimes might be we need the two data set, three data set. So at that time, instead of using the Excel file, we can simply use the database. Because if you create the Excel file and in that you create the multiple sheets, so you will find that you can't create the relationship between the sheets in Excel, but you can create the relation over here in the SQL, right? So that is the main advantage of it. And you will find that the second thing is that in the relational databases, you don't need to you don't need to go ahead and like, there is no limit for adding the data. Like for the Excel there is a limit. Okay, if you go and create the the one new Excel file, and you will see that, like, let me show you this thing, Excel worksheet. This is my Excel worksheet. Let me go and open this. So you will find that there is some limit, like there is a limit on the rows and the limit on the columns. Okay, so do you know the limit for the Excel sheet? In one Excel sheet, how many rows are there? Like, see, this is my the first row, this is my second row. Okay, likewise, if you wanted to see the last row of this particular sheet, so you can simply use the control and down arrow. So you will see that how many rows are there? 10,48,576 rows are there, right? How many rows? 10,48,576. Okay, and how many columns are there? So if you wanted to see the columns, so you will find that there are around 60,000 plus columns are there, right? So you can see the columns like this. Okay, you can see the columns. This is going to be the uh, the last column, I can say. So like this. And if you wanted to go and check this, so you can you can use the control and the the arrows. whether lower arrows or the right arrow or left arrow. So you can directly go with the uh, like the end part, okay, like this. So this is the thing over here. So let me just go ahead and understand our MySQL. Now what is SQL? So as we know, SQL is it stands for the structure query language. Okay, why we are using the SQL? Basically we are using the SQL to basically create, remove, alter the database, right, and the database objects in a database management system, basically to store, you know retrieve, update the data in the databases. Okay, we can also use a like the SQL. Basically it's a standard language for basically creating, accessing, manipulating DBMS, which is nothing but the database management system, right? SQL also works for all modern relational database management system like SQL Server, Oracle, MySQL, right? So you will find that there's so many different things. Now after this, let's understand what are the different types of the SQL commands, what are the different types of the SQL queries are there. Okay, so like you are writing some, like in Python, if you are writing something, so that is nothing but Python code. If you are writing something in the R, so that is nothing but R code. If you are writing something in the SQL, you can say SQL command or SQL query, right? Now, how many different types of the SQL commands are there? So you can see the type. Okay, how many different types are there? Total 5 different types are there: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. Okay, so let's go and understand one by one. Okay, so if we're talking about the DDL, so basically DDL stands for the data definition language, right? And basically DDL commands are used for creating, you can say altering the database and the database objects in the relational database management system. Like you can create database, you can create the table, you can alter the table, and you can you know do multiple things. Okay, and the we can say the most used DDL commands are nothing but this: create, drop, alter, truncate, right? So if you're talking about the create, so basically we are in the name itself. Okay, we are using it to create a database, right, or a database object like the table, in that index, view, trigger, store, procedure, like so many things we can do in that. Okay, with the help of create. Then what about drop? Okay, if you're talking about the drop, so we can simply know that, okay, like to remove the particular database or any database object like the table and all. Okay, what about alter? So if you're talking about the alter, to basically restructure the database object, right, doing any modification in that. What about truncate? Okay, so basically the truncate command is it is used to basically remove all the data from the table, right? So that is nothing but the the use case of the truncate command simply. What about the DML? DML is nothing but data manipulation language. Okay, and we are using DML commands, okay, for manipulating data in relational database management system, which is nothing but you know this thing. So what are the different things you can do? Okay, you can go and you can add, you can remove, you can update your data in the database system. Like you can use the insert into table name. Okay, like we'll be talking about the examples as well. Okay, and most useful commands are nothing but insert, update, and delete. Okay, in the name itself, insert means you can simply insert the data in the databases, which means that you can insert the data in the database table, right? If you want, if you go with the update, which means that you can be able to update the data in the database table, right? Then what about the delete? Again, you can remove the data from the table of the database, right? Then what about the DQL? Okay, DQL stands for the data query language. Okay, ignore this particular term TCL. Okay, so let's go first TCL, then let us go with the DQL. So if we're talking about the TCL, so TCL basically stands for the transaction control language. Okay, and why we are using these commands? So for basically handle transactions in the databases. Okay, so basically transactions ensure data integrity in multi-user environment. Now what is data integrity? So which means that if you are handling the data, so which means that data integration, which means you are collecting the data from various different sources. Okay, that is nothing but the data integration. Okay, so like this particular we can like if you're talking about the TCL, so basically we are using it to handle the transactions. Okay, and transaction ensure data integrity, right? Now basically like we are using TCL commands, okay, like for for rollback and for to commit the data modification in the databases. Okay, and the most used TCL commands, which are nothing but commit, rollback, save point. Like we have also like we have the set transactions as well, right? Then we have the DQL. DQL is a the most famous one, I can say. Okay, because if you go and if you start writing the code after entering your data, updating, inserting, okay, after done with that, if you wanted to go with the you know any any extraction, like if you wanted to extract the particular column from the data, so at that time you can start your query from the select statement, right? So that is the that is nothing but a DQL, and basically DQL is nothing but the data query language. Okay, so why we are using DQL? As I told you, okay, we are using this to extract the data from the database table, or you can simple, or you can say you can fetch the data, right? So like I'll show you in the practical, like each and every command or each and every query you will see that is start with the select, right? So you will find that like for doing multiple things like selecting the table. Okay, uh, if you wanted to go ahead with the understand any particular clause, like the where clause, having clause like this as well, so you can get it. Okay, you can use it to apply the aggregate functions, you can find out the aggregate function as well, right? So basically, if you're talking about the DCL, so DCL is nothing but the data control language. Okay, and why we are using it? Basically, we are using it to provide and providing the data as well as taking back the access rights from on the database, and you can say that the database objects. So basically, if you are working in a company, okay, and the company, as we know, all the company has its database, right? And you will find that the database is very big database. Okay, you will find that the database of the employees, database of the any client, database of the multiple projects as well. So like the company never give you the the full access, whole access of the database, because you will find that the employees database, okay, it's only accessed by the management team, right? And if one employee, like the team of the employees are working in this particular project, let's say any project X, so you know the support team only give you the access of the that particular data of that project. Okay, so you can use the DCL data control language to grant the access of the database or any table in that particular database, or revoke the access, right? So that's you can use a DCL. Now let us go ahead and see why to use SQL, right? So as we know, because of the it's a relational database management system programming language. Okay, like as we know what is relational database is, okay, which means that okay, in the data, okay, you will never find that there is one single table. Okay, you will always find that there are multiple tables. Let's say if I talking about the employees database management system, okay, so in the employees database management system you will find that the data of the employees, right? Then the data of the you can say that the department of managers, data of the departments, the data of the salaries, right, like that. So you will find that always multiple tables are there in the database, so you will find that there is relationship between each and every table in that. Okay, so for that you can use SQL to get the access to create that particular database, to update that, to alter that, to give the access of the multiple people, or to revoke the access, right? Or you can even get the access of the SQL database, and after that you can create the you can go and solve your any database data science project as well, right? You can create the dashboard as well, right? So for relational database, okay, like we need SQL. Then performing all basic operations in databases, as we discussed. Okay, why we need the SQL? Because if you see that, okay, like there are multiple databases, there are multiple tables, okay, and you can use the SQL to get the access of it, as well as you can do the multiple different things. Okay, you can apply different operations on your database, okay, to understand that particular your data, right? Like as we discussed previously, we have a data manipulation language, data definition language, data query language, data control language, right? So you will find that with the help of this, we can do the we can apply different operations on my data set, right? That is the thing. Now after this you will find that for transaction control in database we need the SQL. Okay, we also say that the SQL is also used to maintain the transactions occurring in the databases, right? Like if you know, like the if you see that the many times like databases upgrading, okay, because you will find that, okay, like either daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, database is updating. Like if you're talking about the employees, so if the company big, so as we know, like each and every day few people, those who are joining the company and those who are you know left the company. So for that we'll have to maintain the transaction in the database, so that's why again we need the SQL. Then you will find that the union, SQL union. So basically, like in relational algebra, we use the union operator to combine two sets into a single set with unique values in it, right? So that's why we are using a union, right? If we like in the practical, we try to cover this particular part as well, right? Then we have the SQL joins. Okay, if you see there are multiple columns, okay, sorry, multiple tables are there in your database, so how you can access that particular table, multiple database, right? If there is a, let's say, employee is there and there is a department is there, you know two different tables are there, so how you can use those you wanted to, like if you wanted to take one column from this data and one column from this data, so how you can do this? You can use the SQL joins. There are multiple types of join: inner join, outer join, left join, right join, full join, right? So many joins are there. We'll be talking about this in the practical, right? Then we will have the SQL on website, right? Why we are using this particular SQL? Because okay, we can use this SQL on website as well. Okay, because if you're talking about the the SQL, so we can use the SQL on the interactive websites, so basically which contain a lot of information about users, you can say that the products, right, in the form of databases. So like as I mentioned, in the database you can create the tables. Okay, so like the users, for user you can create is one table, you can create a products one table, like that. Okay, sales table you can create, you can table the table of marketing like this. Okay, so that's why again you can use the SQL. right? Then we have the compatibility and flexibility. So basically SQL is compatible with relational databases like Microsoft SQL Server, and Microsoft Access is there for this. Then we have the Oracle database is there, MySQL, right? So that is the thing. So basically it also provides, we can say it, SQL provides flexibility and also provides permission who can access and manipulate which particular table in the database, right? So basically it can manage large records and transactions occurring on the website with ease, right? So there are various special libraries present in SQL, like SQLite is there. Okay, so basically which can helps to connect client web app to the database developers basically are using it to which can basically help to work with the database of clients as well, right? So you can use it for that, you can use a SQL Lite as well. Then you can integrate with the other languages, like in the our today's session I'll be showing you how you can connect your MySQL with the Python and R, right? And how you can run how you can run your query over there, right, in Python and in R. So that is nothing but the data integration. Okay, integration with other languages. Then SQL for data scientist and analyst. Like if we're talking about like like, see many time, okay, if you see that, okay, you never get the the data in the form of CSV or the in Excel format. Sometimes you might get the data in the form of SQL databases, right? So for that, okay, you can use this thing, right? You can, you should know what SQL is. You should know how you can write the queries in the SQL and why we are using the SQL. Okay, so that is our intention to add the SQL over here. So this is just the basic that we'll be talking about over here in this particular session. There are lot of things are there in the SQL you can able to cover, right? Like we mention most of the things in the our fast track data scientist course, okay, that I guess launched in the infosec website. Okay, so then lastly you can see you can use the SQL for the machine learning as well. Like after getting the data is important for applying any machine learning model. If you know, if you wanted to apply machine learning, okay, so you should know the data. So either you get the data in the form of Excel sheet, CSV file, or JSON file, HTML data, or any kind of data. So likewise, if you get the data in the form of SQL databases, so you should have to use it. So for that, you should know how you can integrate SQL with other programming languages, like I'll be showing you in the today's session itself. Okay, like if you wanted to understand this in the many different things, like what are the different basic methods are there, what are the different advanced methods are there in the SQL. Okay, so see here, okay, there is a time limitation, but like we will be covering all about the SQL, okay, from scratch to advanced, okay, in the course which we just launched, I guess. Okay, let me explain the relational database again. Okay, so guys, like like if you know, let's say you are running a company, let's say e-commerce company you are running, right? So in the e-commerce company, what are the different departments are there in your company? How many departments will be there in your company? So first thing, there will be like one department, let's say in the e-commerce there will be uh, sales department will be there, right? There will be marketing department, there will be HR department, then management department, right? Then you can say that the web developers will be there, software developers will be there, right? Likewise, so many different departments are there, right? So for each and every department you will have to maintain the data separately, but that separate data of each and every department is the data of your organization. So which means that there is some relationship between each and every data, right? So see, if you say that if you are giving the employee ID, right, to each and every employee, you are giving that with to the HR, to the salesperson, to the support team, to the marketing person, right, to the your software developers, web developers, like that. To all of you, you are giving employee ID, right? So you will find that in each and every table there is one column, and that column is the unique column, which is nothing but the employee ID. Yes or no? Right? Yes. So we are using that particular employee ID as the primary key, right? Yes, absolutely right. And we are using at the primary key, and then we are integrating with each and every table in my database. That is nothing but the relational database. Okay, that I'll show you in the practical part. Okay, like the when we are implementing or executing the one particular database which is employee, so then you will understand 100%, okay, what the relational database is. Okay, so guys, after this let's get started with the practical. So I hope you just install the MySQL in your system. Here if you see, so we have the first file. Okay, if you have any new already existed files in your system, so you can simply open it from here. So these are the few things you can open. You can create the new, you can create the you can close this particular, and you can save the this particular commands. Then second thing is that you can go and edit it. Then this is for the view. Okay, this is for the executing the query, means the running this particular commands. This is nothing but the manage the database, connect with any database on the internet many times. Okay, that is especially for the people those who are working in the company. So for those, okay, those who wanted to connect with the database, because like company never give you the the database. You can't download the database, right, in your system. So for that you will have to connect with the database, and then you will have to connect with any programming language and access that, get the access of particular database, right, like this. Then you have the server. The server status is that you will see different things. Okay, and then configuration tools are there, like the scripting and help lastly. Now after this, here you can see that you can create the new SQL file if you wanted to create. Then here you can see if you have any new file, so you can go over here and you can open the existed file. Okay, then second thing is that here you can open any selected object. Okay, here you can select, you can create the new schema, but schema is nothing but the you can create the new database. Okay, these are my schemas are nothing but the database. Okay, so like this you can create the multiple things. You can create the table in the schema, you can create the new view. Okay, view is the function. Okay, like this you can do many things by using this. Now let's come to this particular thing. So this is going here, you can see the two options, administration and schemas. Okay, like in the administration you can see that the server status and all this thing. Okay, like if you wanted to export the data, you can simply go over and export the data, import the data, restore the data, like this. In the schemas, you will find that the multiple schemas which is there in your MySQL, right, which is there in your MySQL, right? So for now what we are doing is, we are okay, like for if you make any changes in your database, so you can simply go and refresh it. This is the symbol of the refresh. You can simply go and refresh it. This is the thing. Okay, now for the today's session we will be talking about the employees database, this particular database. So here you will see that this is my employee database, and in the database we have the so many tables, like we have the table of departments, we have the table of department employees, department manager, employees, salaries, titles, right? So you will find that the multiple tables are there in the one employee database, and all the tables which are related to each other, right, related to each other. You will find that the there is primary key is there. there is foreign key. Foreign key is nothing but the, you will find that, okay, like the primary key is nothing but the unique key for each and every data, and primary key is the, you know the for any particular table, that is the your primary key. So that is nothing but the foreign key for that particular, for all the table. But for that particular table, that is nothing but the foreign key. Okay, that is the unique key in that particular table, right? So here you can see that, okay, like I shared this particular file with you. This is nothing but the all day data you will see, and we just created the data. Okay, so this is the open source database, so that's why we'll be using it. Okay, company never share their data with anyone else. Okay, this is the open source data. Okay, that's why we are using it. Now here you can see that, okay, what we are doing, okay, we are first saying that, okay, like for running this particular code or command, you can say, or this particular employees file, okay, we can simply go ahead and click to this particular button, which is nothing but the execute all the line of code in this particular file. Okay, if you wanted to go ahead and run the one line each and every time, so you can use the, execute one line. Over here you can see this is, okay, here you can see the, the one particular option for the execution of all the data set, all the column you can see, and this is option for executing one particular column, one particular row you can say. Now here you can see from, okay, at the starting point, what we are doing, we are just dropping the database which is exist in my schemas. What I'm doing, I'm simply dropping it, and then I'm creating it. So what you can do is, you can simply open this and you can click to this particular option, because I already download, already run these, and I have all these things. So I, will go with the further step instead of going with and running this particular all the data. So you can see that what we did over here, okay, we just drop the database of the employees and we create the database. Okay, then we use that particular employees database to create the tables. And what are the different tables we are creating? The employees table, the, the few mentioned table here you can see. So basically we just drop the table database and the tables as well. So now we are creating the table. Here you can see create the table. Employees are there, departments are there, department manager is there, department employees data table is there, the title is there, you can see the salaries is there, you can see, the multiple things. See, and now here, from here, we are just inserting the values in the employees table first, and then we are, these are the values, like the thousands of rows are there, right? So I'll show you this in the, the next topic, while we are, running the our code. Now here you can see that while creating the table, so you can see that I just added the column name. Okay, here let's go with the first. See, this is my, the employee number is there. Okay, and as we know, employee number is the integer, the data type of that, and we have to mention this column is the non-null column, right? Then we have the birth date column, and in the birth date, the type of this is nothing but the date, and this column is also non-null. Then third column in that particular table is going to be the first name of the employees, and then varchar, okay, the variable character is there, and how many letters we are adding in it. Okay, so 14 letter for the first name, and for last name you will find that the 16 letter. These are the multiple data types in the SQL, guys. Okay, then enumerate this male and female if you wanted to go ahead with the, gender. So like specific things you will have to mention over here, so you can add the gender as, data type, this kind of enumeration. Then we have the higher date. Again, the type of this particular column is going to be the date. Okay, and here you can see the primary key for this is going to be the employee number, right? Then for the department, okay, we did the same. and here you can see we have the primary key for this particular table, and this is the unique key in that particular table, because see, department names are the unique one, right? So that is the thing. So like that you will find that the many different keys. Okay, so like we will be using this, okay, in the while we are using the joins, right? So after this, okay, after this, let's create, like after inserting all the data, because I already have this particular data, refreshing it, so you can see that I have the data. You can simply go and run this particular, execute this particular query or this particular file. Now after this, let me go and open the new SQL file, okay, and we'll start writing the code. We'll start writing the code. Now guys, the first thing is that, let's say this is my employees, the table is there. Okay, let me just remove it. I don't need it now, okay, because I have it. Okay, employees table. Now after this guys, let's go and use this particular employees database. So for that, okay, like I can't go and simply start writing the query for the any specific databases, right? So for that, I'll have to first mention the database name, like I am using this particular database. So for that, I'm just saying that use employees, right? And then the semicolon, you know and then simply go and run this. After running this, here you can see that in the workbench, you will be able to see that in the output, like this output is we got the output as this particular line of code is executed, right? We will be able to use the employees database from now, right? Now after this, let's say if I wanted to select, like see, let's say this is my employees table, right? In my employees table, how many columns are there? These many columns. Employee number is there, birth date is there, first name is there, last name is there, gender, hire date is there, right? So how I can, you know let's say I just wanted to select the two columns from this particular table. Okay, let's select. Okay, uh, let me just use two hyphen for the comment out. Okay, if you wanted to add the comment over here, we are just using this. Okay, selecting two columns from employees table. Okay, that is our goal over here. So what we are doing, we are using the select. Okay, this select data query language, now we are using it. Select, then any random two columns. Okay, let's say I just wanted to select first name, okay, and second name. No, not the second name, it's the last name. Okay, last name, I just wanted to select it, right? Now after this, first name and last name from this particular table, which is nothing but the employee. So select first name and last name from employees, right? That is the thing. Okay, just go and put the semicolon, okay, and run it. Now here you go, in the output, see, we just able to execute this particular line of query, and here we got the output first name and last name. So which means we just fetch this particular two columns. Okay, now you can see how many rows are there. Around 3,24,000 rows are there. How many rows are there, guys? 3,24,000 rows are there, right? So that's how you can access this, right? Now second thing is guys, okay, see, this is my query, this is my code, I can simply say. Okay, so here you can see the for beautifying your code, you can simply go and put this and you can see. Okay, let me just erase this output and you can be able to see. Okay, like initially we have this kind of code, we just wrote this code. Okay, we have written this code like this. Okay, now let me go and use this for beautifying my code. So which means that the readability of the code now increase, isn't it? Readability of my code is increased or not? Increase, definitely, right? So that's how you can use it. Okay, now let's say if I just wanted to select, okay, select all the columns from any table. Again, the let's say same table I just wanted to go ahead with, employees table, right? So what I can do is I can simply use the select. Now instead of using any column name, I can simply use the star from employees, right? And the semicolon. Let's go and run this. Now here you can see, right? Is it visible now, guys? Okay, I think now it is visible, more visible. Okay, that is the thing. So you can be able to, let me, okay, now here you can see that you can be able to use this. You can simply go and run this. Okay, now you will be able to fetch all the columns of your employees table, and that's how you can do it. Okay, see here the green tick is there, which means my code is executed, right? So that's how you can do it. Now after this, okay, you can go ahead with the any other table as well. Let's say if you wanted to go ahead with the any different table, let's say I just wanted to select, okay, the different table. Okay, the different table, not the employees table. I just wanted to select the, let's say, department tables. Okay, departments. So select star from departments. Okay, semicolon, and here you can simply go and beautify your code, and let's go and run this. And now here you can see, okay, how many departments are there: customer service, development department, finance department, HR department, marketing, production, quality management, research, sales department is there. So you can see the multiple departments are there, right? So that's how you can go ahead and use the select statement to fetch the data, right? The two, two column, three column, one column, four column, any column, right? Now guys, we'll talk about the the few topics. Okay, like the how you can use the where clause and all the different things, how you can apply the aggregation function, right? Let's go ahead. Now here you can see we saw the different things. Okay, how you can go and select the columns from the data frame, or how you can fetch the column from the different tables of the databases, right? Now let's go and see, let's say if you wanted to check, okay, like the particular information about the, let's say, uh, a one employee. Okay, so how you can, so see here, you can see. So basically, if you wanted to download any SQL file, okay, any SQL file, open here. Okay, so you can simply see these are the first option. Okay, with this you can create the file, and this you can open the existed file. So this is my existed file is there. So I can simply open this file, right? See, this is how I can open this file. Okay, you can open the file in the MySQL Workbench. Okay, now guys, let's go ahead and try to, okay, see guys, after after opening the employees data in your system, just go and click to this option. Okay, this will execute your employees data, and just go over here. After that execution, You can go over here and you can refresh the databases, or you can refresh the schemas. Okay, see, this is my schemas. You can see the name, and you can refresh the schema. You will definitely see the employees database over there, right? Okay, now after this, when you are starting, try to use this particular query, which is nothing but used employees. Okay, and then start, fetching the data, right? Okay, now guys, like, let's say if I wanted to, select the all the information of, let's say, one particular employee. Okay, so let's say uh, I just what I can do is I can simply run this particular this to, you know get the name of the employee, any random name. So let's say I just wanted to, uh, you know get all the information about the Mary, right? So what I can do, I can simply go over here. Okay, I can use the select star from employees, right? Now here you can see, again I am adding the one constraint over here, which is nothing but the where clause, right? This is about the where clause, and I am looking for the information of the Mary. Okay, the first name of the employee is going to be the Mary. This is the thing, right? And add the semicolon over here, beautify our code like this, and simply run this. And now here we can see how many Mary employees are there, first name. Okay, you will see that the total 224 employees whose first name is Mary, right? So see, you got the all the information about the Mary, right? So that's how you can get it. Understood, guys? This is about the where. Okay, so let me just add the, you know explanation for this comment so you can understand. Now here you can see that we are selecting the uh, this particular thing over here. Okay, not the employees table. Now we are selecting the departments, right, table. Now here what we are doing, we are selecting all the information, all information, okay, about the employee employee whose, okay, whose first name is this Mary, right guys? Understood now? Okay, that's how you can go ahead with. Okay, so basically these are the few questions comes from your manager or your colleague, your senior person, or sometimes the data scientists, those who wanted to, apply any model on the data. So they want any particular data from the databases. So at that time, okay, if you know, so let's say if you are working as a data scientist, okay, so you can simply use the SQL command like this and you can get the data, right? Let's say, and apply the, the and, okay, like how you can use the, multiple constraints. Like this is my first constraint, right? So if I wanted to, let's say, uh, yes, those are the sample data set. Okay, like the, see, for me too, okay, you will find that the few multiple databases. See, I created the invoice database, but you will find that the rest of the database which is already there, those are the, the sample databases you can see, right? So that I created, like, you will have to create that if you want. Okay, so for that, just use the create database. Like in the employees file, you will see that all the things, how you can create the database, how you can add the values inside it by using the insert, right? So see, okay, let's go with the another question. Okay, let's say uh, again. Okay, now guys, okay, see here we have the first name Mary, right? But here I just wanted to select the employees, okay, whose first name is Mary and gender is male, right? See here the gender female, male, female, male, female, male, female, male is there. Okay, so I just wanted to, go ahead and understand the, you know, the add the second condition over there. Okay, so here you can see first name Mary and, okay, and here you can see I'm just adding the gender. Okay, now in the gender I want the male. Okay, the M. Let's go and beautify it. Okay, because you can see you can go ahead with this. Okay, like, because if you go with the beautify your code, so which means that, okay, like the someone, if you are code with someone, so which means that he also able to understand the code, what is going on in the code, right? So that's why for understanding purpose, each and every time after creating the code, apply the beautify. Okay, this particular brush. Okay, just apply the brush over there. Okay, let's go and run this. So here you can see now we are selecting, okay, the employees whose first name is Mary, okay, and the gender is male. Now you can see we just filtered my data from the total how many rows, 224 rows. Now we have the how many rows, 143 rows, which means we just selected the data, right? So here you can add the constraint like first name is Mary and gender is male. Understood, guys? Let me know if you are facing any issues, like, or any problem with the query, right? Definitely will be here. Okay, we'll be able to solve your problem here. Okay. Now after this, guys, uh, let us go ahead with the further things, right? Let's say many time, like this is not just about the and statement. You can go ahead with the or as well, huh, guys. Like let's say if you wanted to select the Mary employee name, as well as you wanted to select the any other employee, right? The first name of the employee, so you can go ahead with, so see, at that time you can use the or as well. Okay, if you wanted to go ahead with the, you know the all the employees name, first name, okay, whose first name is either Mary or any other name, right? So at that time you can go ahead like this, use the or, okay, here, and just use the first name over here instead of gender, and use any other name of the employee. Okay, then you will get the list of those all the employees that, okay, those whose first name is Mary and the any other name, right? Like that you can apply the many different things. Okay, now after this, let us understand how you can apply the, let's say, aggregate functions. What is aggregate functions? Aggregate functions are nothing but the how you can find out the count, right? And like how you can find out the mean and all the things, which are the, different aggregate functions. Okay, so let's say aggregate functions. Okay, now here let's say uh, you just want the, the employee count. Like here you can see that we got this particular count, okay, 3,24,000. Now you want the count over here in the output, like you saw here over here now in the, like, whether your code is executed or not, and the message of your code. So for that, okay, if you want over here, so you can simply go ahead and use this. Okay, select count of, let's say, employee number, because you will find that the employee number is the unique code for of the employees. Count from employees, right? So this is the thing. So you will get the, just go and brush it. Okay, and let's go and run this, and you will see the count of the employee is nothing but the 3,24,000. Now let's say if you wanted to check are there any missing values or not. Okay, so let's say if I am saying uh, like the like the let's say if you wanted to select the you know the employees whose unique first name, like if you see there are the first name Mary. How many employees are there whose first name is Mary? 224 employees are there, right? now now what I am doing over here is I just wanted to check the count of unique employees whose name is unique. Okay, so here you can see that. Okay, what you can do, you can simply go over here. Okay, and you can use the distinct. Okay, distinct is nothing but the unique and first name, right? You can simply use this, and you can beautify your code. You can see we just beautify our code, and let's go and run this. And now here you can see we got the count, which is nothing but the only 1,275, 1,275 only, right? So that's how you can apply the aggregate function on it. Now let's say I just wanted to arrange this all my data into the let's say if I wanted to collect any data or extract some data from the database, and I just wanted the data in the you know let's say in the any order. I just wanted to arrange that data into, let's say, ascending order. Okay, so like for doing that we have the one clause for that, which is nothing but the order by. Okay, so let's say uh, again we are selecting it. Okay, let's go with the above code, just copy it. Okay, and select it. Okay, why I'm doing this, guys, so you can be able to you know hands on these all the things. Okay, now let me go with the star over here. Okay, and employees. And now here if you see, I'll be just adding the now after if you wanted to check whether you are able to upload your employees database in the schemas of the MySQL Workbench or not. So what you can do is you can simply go over here and you can refresh it. If you see, this is a refresh button over here. Are you able to see this? This is a very small refresh button over here. See, let me use the highlighter. See, this is the thing. Again the color. Okay, this is the thing. See over here. Okay, just press it. Okay, just press it. Okay, if you press it, so you can be able to see that your employees database will be here like this. Okay, okay, now after this, here you can see. Okay, I just wanted to sort my data into the ascending order. Okay, so what I can do, I can simply ascending order. Let's say I just wanted to sort my data by first name, right? So let me go and beautify this code. Okay, and let me run this. Again I got the error, because here you can see that I didn't apply this particular use, because see this my workbench automatically you know off. So that's why I'll have to rerun this particular use employees code, so then I can be able to access this particular employees database. Because you will see that how many databases are there, right? So I just wanted to use the employees databases from this all the databases. So that's why I'm using this use employees. Let's go and run this. Okay, now after this, see the green tick over here. Okay, now let's go to our code and let's go and run this. And here you can see we'll be able to run our query. See, we got the query, and here you can see that we'll be able to order our data, or the sort our data into the ascending order. You can see. Okay, like this is the default thing. If you have to, you can simply mention it, whether you can, okay, you can go ahead with the ascending order. Okay, so if you wanted to go ahead with the ascending order, you can mention it like this, ASC, ascending. If you wanted to go ahead with the descending order, you can just mention it, descending. Okay, so simply go and run this. Okay, run, and here you can be able to see we got the data into the descending order. Okay, we got the name starting with the Z letter. Okay, see, understood? So that's how you can be able to see that. Okay, we got the data now. Okay, now after this, after understanding this, guys, do you know about the group by? How many of you know about the group by? As you know, in the, I guess uh, in the yesterday session, as well as in Python session as well, we saw the group bys, how you can apply the group by on your data, right? So like we'll be implementing the group by function over here, right? So let's say uh, let's select the first name again. Okay, because here our intention is to understand the what are the different methods, or what are the different things you can do with the data, okay, in the MySQL workbench. Okay, that is the things. So that's why I'll be using the first name multiple times. Okay, first name, uh, let's go ahead with from our employees tables, right? And then here I'll be using the group by, right, group by on the first name. Okay, first name. Okay, just add the semicolon and let's go and beautify this, and let's go and run this. So here you can be able to see we got the first name as the group by. Okay, as a group by. Now here you can see that it's bit tricky, because here we just selected the one column. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me just add the count over here. Okay, let me just add the count over here, count of first name, right? So here let's go and you know use this beautification, and let's go and run this. And now here you can see, now you can see that how many employees are there whose first name Georgie. So there are 253 employees are there whose name is Georgie. Like this you will find that all the employees over here. Again, understood, guys? Now here, if you wanted to sort this, again you can add the employee ordered by over here. Okay, you can add the order by, let's say, first name, right? And as we know, let's say order it in the ascending order, right? So let's go and run this again, and here you can see, now you can see that we have the first name Amir, Amud, like see, and the count of the first name, right? Okay, that's cool. Now after that, okay, see how we got this. Okay, the first name and count. But if we go and run this, so here you can see that, okay, the column name for this is just the count first name. Column name is going to be the count first name. Okay, the same our query. Okay, so I just wanted to rename it. I just wanted to rename it. So what I can do, I can use the as, and I can simply use the new name for my column, which is nothing but the names count. Okay, and let me beautify it, and let's me go and run this. Now here you can see I just rename my column name. Understood? So how you can rename the column name? Now let's go ahead and understand the few more things. Okay, let's say uh, let us understand the having clause. Okay, like as we understood the where clause na, so let us understand the having clause. Okay, uh, so for that, okay, what we can do is we can go ahead with the same code. Okay, let's copy it. Okay, and we'll be applying the having clause. Okay, we'll be showing you the having, how you can apply the having clause over here. Now basically if you see that this is my, okay, we are selecting the first name and the count first name, okay, from the employees table. Okay, and here you can see the group by is first name. Okay, we are just doing the group by the first name, and the order by the again the first name in the ascending order, you can see. Okay, now here I just wanted to, here if you go and run this, so here you can see you got the names whose names count is like the 228, 220, 60, 216 like this. So now I just wanted to add the condition over here. So for that I'll be using the having. Okay, let's say the, we can say the count. Okay, count. Okay, this one, count first name, you can say, is let's say repeated 250. Okay, repeated more than 200, okay, 250 times, right? I just want those names only. Okay, those who repeated more than two, okay, 250 times, right? So let me go and run this, and here you go. Okay, we got the names those who repeated more than 250, okay, 250 times. Okay, which means that 250 times you can see all the names which are repeated more than 250 times. That's how you can apply it. Okay, now after this, okay, uh let me go through you the another, let's say another query for the same, so you can understand this. uh okay, like if you go over here in the table, you can see the table of salaries. Okay, you can see the table of the salaries, so try to use that particular table, so you can see that the salary is there. Okay, so what we can do, we can, okay, try to select all the column names, okay, all the columns. Okay, select all the columns and one more column in that. Okay, which column? Average salary, right? I'll be using the average salary in that. Okay, from our salaries data. Okay, the, okay, salaries, not the salary. Okay, okay, now here what I'm doing is I'm you know using this. Okay, I'm applying a group by. Okay, because if you see that the first name is repeated and all, so that's why I'll be simply using the employee number for this. Okay, and here I'll be, let's say, ordering it, order by, again the employee, we can say employee number. Okay, and uh, now here you can see, let's say, uh, I just wanted to see the average salary of employees, uh, let's say greater than 1,20,000. Okay, 1,20,000. So here what I can do is I can simply use the having clause. Okay, having, and here I'm just adding the average salary, you can see salary is, let's say, greater than 1,20,000. Okay, by employee number. And lastly, we can simply use the column. Okay, let's say and beautify this. Now you can see this is our code. Now let me go and run this. You see, I got the all the information about the employees, okay, whose salary is greater than 1,20,000. You see over here. See, so that's how you can put the multiple queries, okay, to fetch your data, to fetch your data. Understood? Now here you can use the where clause as well, right? Okay, let's say if you are using the where clause, you will get the same output. Okay, let me show you where clause if you are using. Okay, so here you can see that, okay, the somewhat, okay, this thing. Why? Because if you see, okay, this where clause you can see over here is not valid at this position, because if you see, okay, I added this particular condition with for the average. So which means that if you are dealing with the, aggregate function, so it's proper to use the having clause instead of this. So you can use it over here like this. Okay, so let me go and run this. See, we got the error. Okay, now here we got the error which is saying that, okay, which is not valid. Okay, so which means that, okay, the where clause is not valid at this particular point, right? So that is a, simple thing you should know about it. So that is the, you can see that the basic difference between the where clause and the having clause you can see over here. Let's go and use this. Yeah, so that is it. Now after this, guys, understand the, let's say, the same thing. Okay, let's say this thing. Okay, let's go ahead with this, because here if you see how many rows are there, okay, you will find that the 193 rows we got. Okay, now if I don't want this, okay, if I don't want this 193 rows, I want to see the only, let's say, 100 rows, the first 100 rows I wanted to see, I can simply put the limit over here. Okay, I can put the limit over here, you if you see. Okay, and I can simply run this, so you can see that we got the first 100 rows. Okay, so like that you can apply the multiple things. Okay, now after this, okay, we can apply any multiple things, any multiple aggregate function. We can apply the sum, like as we saw you, as we saw the count. See, this is the count. Okay, we apply the aggregate average as, okay, in simple words you can apply the sum as well. Okay, then you can apply the minimum maximum as well, right? Like if you wanted to go ahead and, round your, like if the salary is giving you the, uh, in the multiple decimal points, so you can round your that particular value by 2 digits, 3 digits, or whatever digits you want. Okay, which means that the decimal points you can say. Okay, so you can use the round function as well. Okay, like that. Okay, you can uh, do the multiple things with this. Okay, in the aggregate function, because of the, like some time constraint. Okay, like will not be able to, show you the all the things which are there in the aggregate function, but lot of aggregate functions are there. Like as we mentioned the few names, sum, minimum, maximum, average, count, you can do. Okay, so in the same way you can also do the multiple things. Okay, so now after this, after understanding this, let's go ahead and understand the joins. Let's understand the joins, how you can go ahead with the joins. Okay, so let's say if I tell you the, like let's say if you wanted to go ahead with the uh, inner join. Okay, so how you can do that? Okay, So for going with the inner join, okay, like we'll have to like create the few, let's say few duplicate tables, okay, for this, because like for join, okay, we will have the tables with the with the common, you can say the primary key is there. Okay, so it's possible. So if you have the multiple let's say table or the duplicate table, then it is very much similar. So for that, what we can do is, okay, we can simply go ahead and create the, let's say uh, the duplicate table, right? So for that, we can just go ahead and like let's see the departments. Okay, the first table. Let's go ahead with the first table. Huh? Now here you can see that in the departments we have the only two columns, department number and department names. So let's go and create a duplicate table for this. Okay, so for this I'm gonna use the create table, right? Create table departments. Okay, the duplicate table I just wanted to create, and here you can see in the duplicate table I just wanted to uh, a- how many columns are there? Let's say two columns are there. I just wanted to add the same columns, department number, right? Then you can see the, let's say the characters. Okay, the characters for the how many character, let's say go ahead with the, because we are creating the duplicates and also it's not that much uh, you know good data we want to create. So let's create this. Okay, now after these, uh, let us go ahead with the department name. Okay, again here you can see that the varchar, okay, and let's say 40. Okay, and the again the null, right? And now you can simply create this and done. Now let's go and beautify this, and here you see that we will able to create this particular table. Okay, now see, let's go and run this, because we are creating the duplicate table, guys. Okay, so first we just created the this particular table. See, after creating this particular table, let's fill the value. Okay, let's fill the value. So for filling the value, we'll be using the insert into departments, right? Departments duplicate table, right? And here what we are doing is we are just inserting the department department number and the, let's say department name. I just wanted to insert it, right? Now if you see over here, okay, now we can simply let's say like from where we can insert these. So we can simply use the, let's say uh, we can use this, okay, from our same table, which is nothing but the original department tables, right? Select all from departments, right? And the semi-comma, beautify it. Okay, and simply go and run. So I guess this might work. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so here you can see that, okay, because here you can see that the the query which is somewhat added query here. So for sometimes this brush won't work. See, I'm using this won't work. Okay, so sometimes it might not work. So this is the query. If you wanted to beautify it, you can simply go ahead and you can uh, write this code into the uppercase. Okay, Mm, insert insert into department number, and you can simply go over here. You can, let's say, you can put like this. Okay, you can use this department number, you can use this. Okay, and you can select this. Okay, this is all the things you can do, and the rest of the thing, as I guess this again, it is not working. Now we can go ahead with manually as well, right? We can go ahead like this, and this is how you can beautify your code. See, it's very simple. And again, run this. Again, you can see we got the output. Okay, now guys, okay, after this, let's try to, we can say that the apply the inner joins. Okay, but you can see that here we just created the two duplicate tables. Okay, so like we can, just remove either let's say uh, you know any data from this particular our table. Okay, which is this select star from uh, departments. I guess this won't work, so use this departments. Okay, and beautify this, and let's go and run this. Now here you can see that you have the department numbers. Okay, so what we can do is we can simply, let's say, as we created the department duplicates now, so what we can do, we can simply, let's say, remove the few, department number. So this will not be like the this will not will be the, exact same, right? So what we can do, we can simply use any department number, like the D009 is there, or D0012, D009 is there. So we can use any random one. Okay, so for that, let me just go over here, and what I can do is I can let's say delete, okay, from the, you know let's say, departments duplicate, right? And here I'm just adding where my department number is going to be. Let's go ahead with any random. Okay, like D002, let's say. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, and let go and, beautify this particular code. Okay, let's go and run this. Okay, like here we can see, okay, we are using a, okay, uh, now what we can do, okay, let's say we can add the few things as well. Okay, and then we'll see. uh, okay, let's say I'll be adding insert, okay, into departments duplicates. Okay, um, the, you know I'll be adding into the, let's say, department name, I can say. Okay, and I'll be using the, in the values, I'll be using it as a, let's say, uh, public relations, we can say. Relations, you can simply say. Okay, so this is the thing. Now what we can do, we can put this, and we can simply insert this. We'll try to insert this. Okay, now done. And okay, uh, like here, let me go and recheck this. Okay, again I am getting the error. So here what I can do is I'll have to run this particular thing. Okay, because here you can see that we got the error 1175. You are using safe update mode. So what I'm saying that, okay, SQL, okay, the, let's say, safe updates equal to 0, null. Okay, okay. Now here SQL setup, I'll have to, here you can see that I'll have to set this. So what I can do is I can simply use the set over here, right? Now it might work, I guess. Let's go and run this. And now here you can see, and the second thing, let's go and apply this. Now done. Now here you can see that the two rows are affected. Now we can simply see our duplicate data which we created. Okay, departments duplicate. Okay, let me beautify this. Okay, go ahead and run these, and here you can see. Now you can see we just added the, you know this particular term over here. Which one? We just added the public relations. You can see public relations, but we don't have any name for it, right? So this is the thing, and we just created the duplicates now, so that's why you will be able to see the duplicates. Few duplicates are here, right? Because why we are doing this, guys? Because to show you the joins, how you can apply the inner join, outer join, right? So let us go with the joins, right? So for that, uh, like, for applying the joins, we need the one more thing. And what it is, like, we need to the create one more data, so we can specially show you this thing. Okay, so what we can do is we can check the another thing. Employee number. Okay, okay. So what we can do is, guys, we can simply go ahead and create this department manager table as a duplicate table for this particular table. Okay, for for to show you the duplicates, the the joins, how you can apply the joins on it. Okay, so I guess it might work. Okay, for this particular part. So for that, what we can do is we can you know uh, let's say we can add the few more values inside it in the department duplicate. So for that we can use insert into you know departments duplicate, and here I'll be using the department. You can say that the department number, and I'll be adding the values in it. Okay, and let's say I just wanted to add the value D010. It's totally fine to take any random value. Okay, and I can go ahead with the, let's say, again um, the same this thing. Okay, okay, this is the, okay, done. Now put the semi-comma over here. Okay, and you can simply go ahead with this. Okay, and run this. And now here you can see, and now after this, let's make the you know the table, which is nothing but the duplicate of the department manager, right? So for that we can use this particular thing. Okay, like we created the table over here now. Yes, we just created this particular table now, so we can simply select this. Okay, after selecting this, we can simply use the department, okay, manager over here, and the duplicate table, right? Now in my department manager table, if you see, will be we'll have the employee number. Okay, so we'll have the employee number, right? We and the employee number, the type of this is going to be the integer, so let's put this. Okay, then and this will be like non-null, right? You can say that the not null. After this, if you see, then we have the the second name, which is nothing but the department number for this. So let's go ahead with the the character, which is let's go ahead with the 4. Okay, and let's go with the next one, which is nothing but the from date. Okay, from date you can see, and put the type for this is going to be the date, and this is going to be the not null. Okay, then we have the to date, right? Again, the type for this is going to be the date, and let's say this is going to be the null. Okay, now after this, okay, let's beautify it. Okay, and go and run this. Okay, again the 0 row affected. Okay, this is just the warning we got. So like the it may be the future warning we got. So like don't worry about this, because we'll never get the error for this. Okay, now after this, after creating this particular data, okay, the table inside this particular employees table, so what we can do, we can simply go ahead and we can insert the values, the few values into our department manager duplicate. Okay, we'll be adding this. Now we'll be using this, we can see the select the all the rows from department manager table. Done. So this is the thing. Now let's go and run this. See, we'll be able to run this particular line of code. Now here we can see we are just adding the few values over here. Okay, few values over here, which we can say that the duplicates value. Okay, so what we can use, let's say um, insert into department manager duplicate. Okay, and we are adding this employee number over here. Those are the few extra, we can say that the values from date. Okay, I just wanted to add, let's say these two. Okay, now what I'm doing, I just wanted to add the values for this. Okay, the employee number and duplicate. So we know that the, let's say the employee number, so if you wanted to see the employee number, you can see not like this. Let me go and create this over here. Select, okay, star from uh, department manager. So we'll be able to see this thing. let let's go and run this. So here you can see that the employee number like this 1111. Okay, 11011. Okay, so what we can do is we are just writing the employee value, which is, let's say, any random value. Okay, but in the 6 digits we can say. So let's say 406, right? Then add the date, because here you can see that we just added the date. So the format for date is going to be like this, because year, then you can see the month, and then you can see the date over here. Okay, Com you know you can put this, and you can get the comma. Now what we can do, we can simply copy and paste it. Okay, we can just pasting this thing over here. Okay, this is the second thing. Then we are pasting it, let's say we are pasting it. Okay, now after this, just change these few values, let's say 6 na, uh, let's say 4. Okay, 7, 8. Okay, go ahead with any random value in simple words. Okay, so what I can do is I can simply, erase this and add this. Okay, this is a semicolon because this is the end, right? Simply insert this and run this. Now here you can see that we'll be able to add the few duplicate values over here. Okay, and here also, as we did over here, okay, let's say just remove the, you know uh, any one of the, the number we can say. So for that, okay, here we are just going with this department manager, departments, uh, manager duplicates, right? So this is the thing, and let's go and run this. Now guys, after this we are ready to, understand the inner join. Now basically, if we're talking about the inner join, so let me show you the inner join is, or we can understand the inner join from here. Okay, so guys, okay, let's say this is my two table, this is my first table, this is my second table. Okay, so for understanding inner join, okay, we need to combine this like this. So this particular portion, you can say this is my inner join intersection part. If you know the set theory, A and B two sets are there. So if you know the intersection of A and B, which is nothing but the common region, so common region. So in, you know over here in my SQL, we'll be using the inner join. So that's what we are doing over here. We are just finding out the common values from the both the tables by using the, you know the our basically primary keys, foreign keys, okay, of my data. So here what we can do is we can simply go ahead and apply the inner join. Okay, so let's say now I just wanted to, like, for that let me show you the this thing over here. Okay, now here you can see that we just created the department duplicates and the department manager duplicates table. You can see this is my, tables we just created. Understood? Now here you can see I just wanted to extract, okay, I just wanted to extract the department number, department number from this particular table, department manager duplicates, and let's say I just wanted to, you know the extract the, let's say, employee number, okay, from the same. Okay, and I just wanted to extract the department name from the department duplicates, right? So that's what we wanna, do. So for that, okay, what we can do is we can go with the select star. Okay, or we can say that I just wanted to, select the department number, right, from which table, department manager duplicate. So I can simply use the M, okay, for that particular column, for that particular table. Yes, if you understand the intersection, so intersection we can say that it's nothing for, it's nothing but for the set. So inner join, if you see, so inner join, which means that we are taking the common values, common rows based on the employee number, or any particular, any particular foreign key or any particular column we can say, which is unique in between those column, okay, those table we can say. So let's say we are just selecting the department number and let's say the employee number from the same table, and now I just wanted to select the department name from this particular table from my another table. So let's say D from department, okay, name. I just wanted to select this. Now what I can do is I can use the from, because we select, okay, here we want to select the two columns from one table and one column from another table. Okay, now here you can see we'll be using from the department manager duplicate. Okay, so see, this is my first table, right? So what I can do is I can simply use this as the M table, my M table, and I can simply not my database. I can simply go ahead with, and I can simply use the inner join. Just use the inner join to join my another table. Which table? My departments table. Okay, my departments table. Okay, departments table. Right. So what I can do is departments as D. Right, on, okay, any particular column. So here that column is going to be the, let's say, my department number. Okay, for both the columns. So D department number. This is a bit tricky, guys. Okay, like you can go ahead with the recordings, then you will understand this. Okay, and let's say go with the order by. Okay, with the our, again, the any column which is nothing but the department number, let's say, and semi-comma this. Let's go and beautify this code. Now here you can see, okay, this is my code. Now what I am doing, okay, yes, yeah, yeah, okay, let me tell you what is M. So basically M is nothing but the name for this particular column, because here you can see instead of using this bigger name, okay, this is the alias for this, which means that I'll be using M instead of this particular table name. Instead of D, I'll be using the departments, right? Okay, so let us go and run this. And here we got the, you know, the inner join data, which means that from two different column, this department column, the table, and the department manager duplicate table, we got this data. See, department number is from this employee number is from this, right? And if you see, the department name is from here, you know the department name is from here. So which means that, okay, you can simply use the multiple joins. You can use the multiple joins to basically apply the multiple things, or which means that to get the multiple columns from the different data sets, different tables, you can say. Okay, so that is nothing but the join. So we have the left join, we have the right join, and now, okay, it's your work to now, instead of just chain the from, instead of inner join, you can use the right join. You can go with the any other join, left join, you can go with the full join, right? So these all the different joins are there. Okay, so you can go ahead with and understand each and every join, right, guys? Okay, now after these, uh, the last thing I just wanted to show you, the which one, I just wanted to show you the subquery. Okay, subquery, and then we'll move to the, like, how you can connect your server, this SQL server, to the Python and an R, right? So for that, what we can do is, okay, like this is about the subquery, right? So let's say, uh, let's say I just wanted to select and let's say last name from employees table. Okay, employees table, we can say, okay, and we can say that, okay, employees table for the for the same, okay, employee number, because of employee number, we can say that can be, we can say, from the let's say department manager table, right? Department manager table, right? So that's what we wanna do. Okay, department. Okay, this is my question. Okay, I just wanted to select first and last name from the employees table for the same employees number. Again, what we can, okay, what we gonna do is, what we gonna, okay, just select it from the department manager table, right? So what we can do is, okay, again we can use the select, right? And here again we have the two different tables, first employee table and then we have the department manager table. So what I can do is I can use the E as my employees table and D as my employees manager table. Okay, or the department manager table as the DM. Okay, just the initials only. So E dot first name I'll be selecting, again E dot last name I'll be selecting. Okay, and then what I can do is from my employees, and that is nothing but the E, because we are using this E. And now we are saying that, okay, that particular same employee that can be formed in the department manager table. Okay, that can be from department manager table. So what I can do is I can simply use a where clause over here, and I'll be saying that you know my the employee number is from the department manager table. So that's why I'll be using the in. Okay, I'll be using the in, and here I'll be writing my sub query, which is nothing but the select the you know employee number from department manager table, from department manager. Okay, it's not that, it's only department manager. We can say that the table, this is my sub query. Let's go and beautify this. So now guys understand this particular query. Okay, my question is to just select the first and last name from the employee table, and for the same employees number that can be from the department manager table. Okay, so here you can see we are selecting first and last name from the employees, and what we are doing, what, okay, we are selecting the employee number from the department manager table. That is it. Okay, so let's go and run this, and here you can see we got this. Okay, so that's how you can go ahead and apply the multiple queries, okay, inside the one query. So that is nothing but the sub query. Okay, that is nothing but the sub query. Understood guys? Now let's quickly go to the Python and see how we can just go ahead with the this particular thing. Okay, how we can connect the MySQL and Python. Okay, m is m is just the the alias, we can say, and create the one thing, script, new script, and let's connect our R first, and then we can connect our the Python. Okay, quickly. So let's go, and guys, one more thing, this is just for the SQL. Now in the tomorrow session you will be get to know about the Tableau, and Tableau, how you can create the desktop, the dashboard in the Tableau, right? MySQL, if you know our MySQL library, so you can simply use this R MySQL. I already install this particular library. I installed this particular library. If you wanted to install, you can simply go over here and install this. Okay, for now what I'm doing, I'll be using the library. Okay, and in that I'll be just adding the name. Okay, R MySQL. Okay, this is the library. Now let's go and run this. Okay, now see I'm able to connect this. Now after this, here you can see that let's build the connection between the MySQL and R. So for that what I can do is I can simply say MySQL connection, the name for this. Okay, and just use the DB connect. Okay, here you can see the DB connect. Just use these and simply apply this R, you know, just write this code which is nothing but the R MySQL, and which is saying that, okay, just connect with the MySQL. Okay, just connect with the MySQL, right? So after connecting this, here you can see you will have to add the which database you wanna, you know, and get the access. So now, as we know, what which database I want the employees, right? I want the employees. Second thing is that, okay, I'll have to go with the mentioning the host. Okay, because if you see, this is not the case. Okay, this is the name only. So if you, okay, here if you see that my host is going to be the local host. Okay, and for you guys as well, your host is also the local host, because in the system you are using it, huh? You will have to mention the port, like as I told you, the port number is going to be the 3306. This is the default port number for all, right? My name is user over here, right? The root over here, and the password is also root, right? So this is the thing, and let's go and run this only. I got the error because you can see that, because of the typo. Okay, employees. Okay, now let's go and run and see. Yes, now, yes, we just connect. Okay, connection is built. Okay, now what I can do, I can simply just, you know list the tables. So for I can do, I can simply use the DB list of the tables. Okay, so here you can see the DB list tables, and I'll be using my SQL connections. Okay, this is my, like, this is the thing. Okay, this thing I just copy paste over here, right? So let's go and run this. Okay, see how many tables are there in my database. Okay, these many tables are there. I added the few duplicates over here. See, department duplicate, department manager duplicate. See, so I recently added this, right? So that is the thing. Now if you wanted to, let's say if you wanted to go ahead and if you wanted to, let's say, write the query, what you can do, you can simply use DB send query. Use these, and this is your connection, na MySQL connection, right? So see, and here just type the query, select star from employees, right? So this is your query. You can simply go and run this, and you can see the results. Okay, let me show you the results. Okay, here as well you can simply go and see the results. Okay, if you wanted to go and make the print, so you can use the print result, and let's say and run this, and here you can see the results. Now see, if you wanted to get it in the results, uh, let's say you wanted to see the 5 columns. Okay, the 5 rows. So what you can do, you can use the fetch results. Okay, and let's say n equal to 5. You can simply use this. Okay, this is the thing, you can simply go and print it, and you can go. Okay, see, employee number, birth date, first name, last name, gender, hire date, you can able to get this. Okay, so this is how you can build this is how you can make the connection in between the, you know RStudio and the MySQL. Okay, now guys, like I guess we are running out of the time. So like we have the already code with us. So we can simply run this code and we'll tell you. So for that, guys, okay, we'll have to install this particular library in Python if you wanted to, make the connection between MySQL and Python. So here you can see MySQL and a connector Python library is there. Okay, you can uncomment this code and you can go and run this particular thing. So definitely you will be able to install this library in the Python. Restart your kernel again and go and import this, you know the file, the library, we can say. After that, just use the MySQL MC dot connect. Just put your user as a root, password is root, host is nothing but the common for all. Okay, in Python, database is, let's say, I just wanted to, use this particular, I just wanted to, let's say, go ahead with uh, the employees. Okay, okay, I just wanted to go with this. So what I can do, I can simply just copy this, all the code, okay, and run this. Okay, so here you can see that after this, let's go and make the print. So here you can see, okay, this is okay. Now you are ready to go for the further things, which means that you can use this cursor, which means you can able to, add your query over there, okay, by using this cursor method. Now what you are saying, just execute this particular create database my database. Okay, create database my database, because here you can see that, okay, here I just added the one particular thing. So here what I can show you, okay, like let me go and run this. I got the error because here what we are looking for, we are just looking for these many things, okay, employees. So what I can do, I can run this particular, you know the code which I ran in the R studio as well, from employees. Let's go and run this, and here you can see, okay, we got executed, this particular code is executed, right? And you can be able to see, you know this particular code, uh, we can say the data. Okay, and let me go and run this. Okay, this result is 100. Now here you will have to, make the, for this particular, mm, what you can do, okay, you can, okay, just select this and run this. See, it's again, I'm getting the error because see, I already ran this particular thing over here. Okay, so guys, in short, which means, okay, that's how you can simply, go ahead and read this. Okay, that is the, we can say that the only things, like the main thing is to understand how you can connect the, database to the, to particular, let's say, this particular Python. Like if you don't want to add this, okay, so let's go to this and let me try this one. Okay, let me go with this. Okay, my cursor, okay, let me remove this. Okay, and I guess let's go and run this. Okay guys, uh, we'll be, we'll talk about this, guys, in the tomorrow session, because uh, like we are running out of the time, and like I guess it will take some time. Okay, so I'll show you this tomorrow, and definitely tomorrow we'll be talking about the, the how you can build the Tableau desktop, the dashboards, right? Okay guys, so uh, thank you for your time.